Stop stretching your IT band right now, because here's the thing that nobody is actually telling you. You cannot stretch your IT band. And if you've been pulling your leg across your body every single day, holding that stretch for 30 seconds, doing it religiously, and that sharp pain on the outside of your knee keeps coming back during your long runs, now you know why. As a running physical therapist and coach, I've worked with hundreds of runners who are dealing with IT band syndrome and go on to crush their marathon or their half marathon. And almost every single one of them tells me the same thing when they first come to me. They're like, Dwayne, I have been stretching it, I've been icing it. I've been doing that every single day. I foam roll it. I do all the exercises I found online. But every time I go for a run, I'm right back in the same spot with that sharp, burning, stabbing pain on the outside of your knee that really hits them midway through their runs, whether it's like mile 3 or mile 10 during marathon training. And I understand exactly how frustrating this can be. Can you relate to this at all? If so, let me know in the comments what you are feeling when you run, if you're struggling with IT band syndrome and this injury cycle. So today, I am going to share with you the real reason why IT band stretches are not working. And it comes down to some anatomy that every runner needs to understand. And then I'm going to give you 3 things you can do instead that actually go to move the needle with this pain and allow you to actually heal. You're going to want to stick around, because the third thing I'm going to share with you is something that can really change your very next run, that can reduce stress on your IT band almost immediately. And one more thing, if you are in the middle of your training block right now and dealing with IT band flare ups on your runs, I have a video linked right after this one that walks you through exactly how to keep running while this heals. So you don't need to stop running. So stay with me and let's get you back to pain-free running. Okay, first, I want to share something with you that is going to completely change the way you think about this injury. Here's a question I want you to think about. When you stretch a muscle, so let's say your hamstring or your calf, like what are you actually doing? You are lengthening contractile tissue. A muscle is designed to contract and then lengthen. That is literally what it does. Your IT band, this structure on the outside of your thigh, is a connective tissue, not a muscle. So you're this thick, dense connective tissue. I want you to think about it like, let's take like a seatbelt, right, in your car. And it's like a seatbelt. And here's the thing about a seatbelt: you cannot stretch this, right? It doesn't go anywhere. You can pull on it all day long, and it is going to do exactly what it's designed to do. It's to keep you safe in your seat during an accident. It's not supposed to stretch. So, this is how your IT band functions. And if we haven't met yet, I'm Dr. Dwayne Scotty. I am a 38-time half marathoner, 8-time marathoner. I'm a physical therapist, a run coach. And after years of teaching future physical therapists, I now focus full time on helping runners train smarter, stay healthy, and actually enjoy the process at Spark Healthy Runner. And that perspective is exactly how I approach healing your IT band syndrome without having to stop running. And researchers have actually measured how much the IT band stretches. Even under maximal force, it barely changes length. So every time you try to stretch your IT band, you're not stretching the IT band. You're stretching everything around it. And that's exactly why so many runners keep stretching every single day, yet the pain on the outside of their knee never actually goes away. So, what is actually causing that tightness and that pain that you feel on the outside of your knee? It's coming from 2 things. Number 1, your tensor fascia lata, or TFL muscle. No, it's not something you can order at Starbucks. That is the muscle at the top of your hip, in the front outside part of your hip, that feeds directly into the IT band. And number 2, weakness in your hip abductors, specifically your gluteus medius, which is not doing its job of stabilizing your pelvis when you run and you're standing on one leg. And that is what muscle is weak. And every single stride that you take when you have weakness in this muscle creates a small little hip drop on the opposite side. And that hip drop increases the tension and the compression at the bony bump on the outside of your knee that the band goes over. So that's right where the IT band crosses your knee, and stride after stride, mile after mile, that compression starts to build up. And that is IT band syndrome. The tightness isn't the problem, it's a symptom, which is exactly why stretching the IT band itself is not going to fix it. If you've ever dealt with IT band pain, like comment IT band below. Now, I want to be really clear here. Stretching is not always bad, but stretching the IT band itself, the way most runners do it, at best is doing nothing. And at worst, it can actually be adding to the problem. Here's why. Because when you pull your leg across your body to stretch your IT band, you are creating a compressive load right on that outside bone of your knee, the exact spot that it gets irritated and inflamed. So let's say you're on a run and you are feeling, pain on the outside of your knee, and, maybe it's a little angry. Maybe you're in like a yellow or red light scenario. If you've actually watched my latest video on IT band syndrome, we talk about that. And what you're doing when you're trying to stretch this tissue when it's already irritated is you're irritating it further. So it's not actually helping the tissue heal. It's like almost if you had like a blister on the back of your heel and you're rubbing it because it feels like you're doing something. That temporary sensation might feel like relief, but you're actually not helping the tissue heal at all. You're just like further irritating it. And I see this pattern all the time with the runners I work with doing that cross body stretch 5 times a day, foam rolling the IT band for 10 minutes every morning. And then they're really confused about why it's not getting better. And the answer is this: you're chasing the symptom. You're not addressing the root cause. So, what do you actually need to do instead? I'm going to give you 3 things right now that you can do. Number 1, I am not telling you to stop foam rolling. I am telling you to foam roll the right place. Rolling the IT band near the knee, that area that feels like absolute torture, you are compressing an already irritated tissue directly against the bone. You are not releasing adhesions. You are not adding, any value to this healing process. You're just adding more compression to an already inflamed tissue. So that is not going to get you better. So please stop doing that. What I want you to do instead is to actually foam roll and release the TFL muscle, which is up on the front outside part of your hip. And I want you to release the outer part of your quads. So that's just in front of the IT band. And we call that the vastus lateralis muscle. And then the outer part of your hamstrings, just behind the IT band. We call that your biceps femoris muscle. These are the soft tissues that actually respond well to myofascial release. And I actually adopted this from a Graston instrument-assisted soft tissue massage course that I took about 10 years ago, probably more than that now. And I've been teaching this technique to runners for really over a decade because it consistently helps relieve tension in the tissues surrounding the IT band. Spend 30 to 60 seconds on each of these areas. Move slowly. If you find a tender spot, pause. Take a deep breath. Do some deep breathing. Let it release. That is productive work. And here is how you know you're in the right spot. If it feels like a useful kind of sore, kind of hurts so good, right? You're in the right spot. If it's pure, sharp, searing pain, move up. You're definitely too low near the knee. It should be on the outer part of the thigh and the upper part of your hip. And if you're like too close to that irritated spot, move up. If you're not feeling, if it's still like tender and you're like directly on the IT band, like shift your body weight forward a little bit more or shift it back a little bit more to get right behind the IT band so you can get those connections from those muscles through the IT band. You can get the full instructional video of actually how to do this in the freebie IT band resource that I have for you, linked to this training. You might be thinking, Dwayne, like, should I stop stretching altogether? Now, don't misunderstand me. Stretching your hip muscles, stretching your glutes, maybe your hip flexors, that can actually maybe be beneficial for you, and if they're limiting movement. What I'm saying is that stretching your IT band itself isn't fixing the problem. And if you're already getting value from this, I'd greatly appreciate it if you hit the like button so I can keep making content just like this that helps you get out of IT band pain for good so you can continue getting in those mental clearing miles. And the second thing, and this is the most important one, you need to strengthen your side hip muscles, which is your gluteus medius muscle, or what we call our hip abductors. One of the biggest contributors I see in runners with IT band syndrome. Your gluteus medius is not strong enough to stabilize your pelvis through your gait cycle when you're on one leg, when you're running. And because it's not doing its job, your IT band is compensating, taking load it was never actually designed to do with every single stride that you take during your run. No amount of stretching fixes a weakness. You have to load the tissue. You have to build the strength. The three exercises I want you to start with are side lying hip abduction, or what I refer to as the humbler, because how you're going to do this is actually against a wall, and you're going to slide your heel up the wall, keeping your body rotated forward so you actually get the right part of your hip abductor muscle and not strengthening the TFL muscle in the front. This ensures that you're doing it right. The clamshell. So whether you can do this without a band, some of my runners, we actually start without a band to actually work on the quality of movement and activate the right muscles that you should be feeling with the clamshell, which is deep in your butt area. So you're getting the abductors and the deep rotators, not feeling it in the front, not feeling in your quads, not feeling on the other side of the side that's lying down. So if you're not feeling it where you should be feeling it, maybe take away a band and actually work on the proper movement quality first, and then a single leg glute med wall press. So this is now working that muscle in a standing position. You need to learn how to activate or gain an awareness of your side hip muscles before you advance to the common one I'm sure you probably got from your local PT who gave you like sidestepping with the band, going sideways, kind of walking like a little crab. These three exercises are going to help activate that muscle first before you go to something like the sidestepping. I find that extremely effective in the runners I work with. Think about like 2 to 3 sets, 10 to 12 repetitions of each of them, depending upon where you're starting from, 3 times a week. Give it 3 to 4 weeks of consistent, progressive work. This is exactly what I've seen with hundreds of runners. The other thing I'd be remiss to not mention is that you should not be doing these 3 exercises forever. They are meant to gain that awareness, but we do need to progress after that in run-specific strength training exercises that targets your glutes. And if you want a structured strength training routine for runners that actually progresses from these kind of 3 foundational exercises every 4 to 6 weeks, then check out Healthy Runner Academy. Okay, I want to hear from you now. What questions do you have about running with IT band pain? Drop them in the comments. I will answer them. And before we go any further, if you're feeling stuck, frustrated with IT band syndrome, or even starting to wonder if your best running is behind you or you can't actually run marathons anymore, I want you to hear this from Stephanie, who was in that exact same place that you are in. She was a real runner whom I've had the pleasure of working with, who couldn't run 3 miles without IT band pain. And what happened when she didn't listen to her local PT's advice to just stop running, and she actually started following a structured plan with the right support to really go on to not only conquer a marathon, but the Disney Dopey Challenge of 48.6 magical miles in Disney in 4 days. This is her story.
Hi, I wanted to take a few moments to share with all of you why I joined the Spark Healthy Runner program. My name is Stephanie Zimmerman. I've been running for about 20 years often, but not real long distances until the last year. And I had found a training program online to do my first marathon in May of this year. And that training program went pretty well. I finished the marathon. And then I decided, hey, since I did that, I'm now going to do the Dopey challenge at Walt Disney World. And so I then embarked on another training plan that I just kind of found online. And about a month and a half out before this big race, I started experiencing IT band pain. And I had heard about that over the years. And I had actually stumbled onto Dwayne Scotty, Healthy Runner podcast, and had heard about, hey, when people are injured, there is a way that you can still run, because I had gone to a local physical therapist who had helped me many times over the years with other issues, not running related specifically. And they were like, oh, you got to stop running and all this. I'm like, listen, I invested quite a bit and I need to get to this Dopey challenge down in Walt Disney World. And so I decided, well, let me touch base with Dwayne Scotty. And so I did that, and he helped me so much. It's been a wonderful experience working with him. I decided to work directly with him with this condition. They do offer other opportunities and things that you can do, but I decided to go right to the source. And he helped me understand the Galloway method, which is a way that you can run and then walk and then run and then walk. And we started very slowly. When I started out, I could not go even 3 miles without pain. Within a month and a half that's all it was until the big 4 races. If you don't know what a Dopey challenge is at Walt Disney World, you run a 5K, then a 10K, a half marathon, and a full marathon over a 4-day period. And by using that methodology, I was able to complete all 4 races. The half marathon was cut a little short, down to 7 miles due to the weather. So that was kind of helpful for me, but I actually was able to fully run because Dwayne had said, hey, if you're feeling good in that marathon at 20 miles in, go for it. And I ran the last 6 miles and it felt great. So I cannot recommend his coaching program enough. Pretty much going to be sticking through. I'm working with him through March, and then I'm probably going to join the year. But there's like another level of program I can join, and then there's a year-long program. So I'm not going anywhere because we're starting from the get-go and building up my strength so that I can run long distances, but have the right mobility and strength underneath all of that and do it the right way instead of just pulling things off the internet and doing my best. So I've had awesome results, and I think anyone who will work with Dwayne Scotty and his crew are going to have amazing results. So go for it, and you'll see me around. All right, take care. Bye now.
I hope Stephanie's story really inspired you and showed you really what's possible when you don't stop running and you start strengthening your body for running. If you're looking for that level of structure, accountability, and support, I do offer limited spots for my one-on-one coaching program. Just click the link in the description or scan the QR code. And if one-on-one coaching isn't the right fit now, or I don't have availability at the time that you're watching this, but you still want a proven system with guidance and community, check out Healthy Runner Academy to help you run strong, feel confident, and stay injury-free. Now let's get to step number 3 in what to do for IT band pain instead of stretching. We want to reduce stress on the IT band with every step that you take during running. So the third thing is something simple to try out on your very next run. And this is a quick win that you can implement today, which is to increase your cadence or the steps that you take per minute of running. Research shows that bumping your running cadence up by just 5 to 10% meaningfully reduces the compressive load on the IT band. And if you're running at around, let's say, 155 steps per minute, you really want to aim for 160 to 165. You can use a free metronome app on your phone to really lock into those steps per minute, or you can use a playlist set to 165 beats per minute on Spotify. And they have all different playlists for different steps per minute. I just want to caution you, a little bit goes a long way. So you don't need to increase by 20. You don't need to get to 185. We know that actually isn't normal for runners. So don't feel bad if your cadence is in the 160s. Mine is in the 160s, and it's been like that for years. And it really is dependent upon a number of variables. So we really want to think about, when we're running, quick, light steps. Your IT band will thank you. So let me bring this all together for you. Your IT band is not a muscle. You cannot stretch it. And the crossbody stretch that you've been doing every morning is targeting dense fascia, not the root cause of your pain. Instead, what I want you to do is to foam roll the upper outer hip, outer quad, and outer hamstring, not the IT band near the knee. And most importantly, start building the outer hip muscle strength that actually is the long-term fix for this injury. And you can get through this. Many runners have. I work with runners who have had 10 plus years of IT band syndrome, who finally turned the corner when they stopped chasing the symptom and actually started addressing the cause. And you are going to put this IT band pain in the rear view mirror. I think of runners like Yasil, whose story really reminds me of so many runners that I've worked with. The problem was he kept getting caught in the same injury cycle. IT band would improve, then it would come right back. And it all came to a head during his first marathon when it completely fell apart. And the turning point for him was realizing he couldn't keep treating the symptoms. Instead of stretching and hoping for the best, we focused on building strength, improving his running mechanics, and creating a smarter training plan. And the outcome? Like, in just 16 weeks, Yasil crushed a 10K at about 6:45 per mile pace, finishing third overall. And he told us something that meant even more than his podium finish. For the first time, I don't feel like I'm constantly on the edge of getting injured. That's the lesson. IT band syndrome isn't just about getting rid of pain. It's about building a body that's strong enough to keep running consistently. And Yasil is doing that right now, training for his redemption marathon this fall with the guidance of Coach Lou on our team. And Crystal's story shows the other side of IT band syndrome. The problem was that, like, she already finished the Dopey challenge before, but reoccurring IT band pain had her wondering if she'd even be able to finish another one. The pain wasn't just affecting her running, it was affecting her confidence. And honestly, that is what breaks my heart the most. The turning point for Crystal came when she stopped chasing the pain itself and started building her capacity with the right strength work, training progression, and load management. And she didn't only complete the Dopey challenge. I got to meet her in Disney, actually. But 2 weeks later, she also completed the Dumbo challenge, going coast to coast from Disney World to Disneyland out in California. And that's the lesson. When you stop focusing on stretching the symptom and start addressing the root cause, your body becomes resilient enough to actually handle the training and the races that matter most to you. Yasil and Crystal's stories, they didn't just get lucky, right? They followed a structured plan, trusted the process, and built strength and resilience in their bodies needed to keep running healthy. And that's exactly what we help runners do inside Healthy Runner Academy. If you like that same step-by-step guidance with stage-based strength plans, coaching, and a supportive community, click the link below to join the wait list or scan the QR code. And this was IT band stretches are making it worse. Do this instead. I'm Dr. Dwayne Scotty. My mission is to preserve the health and longevity for you, the everyday runner. And I'm the founder of Spark Healthy Runner. And you're watching the Healthy Runner podcast channel. Now, if you're currently in a training block and you're dealing with active flare-ups of IT band pain and you want to know how to keep running while it actually heals, I shared with you today why the stretches haven't been working for you and what to do instead. But you're going to want to check out the video that I have for you next. IT band pain when running, don't stop. and do this instead, because this video is going to give you the pain traffic light system and the 3-phase return to run protocol so you can keep your training on track. So just click the video that I have for you next, or if you're listening on the Healthy Runner podcast, then queue up episode 299, and I will see you there. Now let's continue to grow a strong mind, a strong body, and let's just keep on running, friends.